Hello,
Hello?
Gary.
Yeah.
This is Tony Cello.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. So
Good.
thank you very much for being on the call. I think we'll get started. It's 2 o'clock. So welcome everyone to the MegaCamp call for the second. I guess it's in July. I guess this is our first call in July. July 13th, July 14th is today. We have another call on July 28th. I'm very thrilled to have our guest today. He has probably used MegaCamp as successfully as any other team leader in all of the Keller Williams system, and you're going to get to hear from an expert who really plans it out, thinks it through, and does a great job. Before we go there, I just want to let you know about a couple of things that we should be looking at. Number one, we are today probably over 3,000 registered already. Where at this time last year we were about 1,500. So we've got double the registrations this year than we had last year. That is also leading to some other issues in the fact that some of our hotel blocks, especially the lower end hotels, their blocks are already filled. So even if you don't know exactly how many people you're going to have come, you may want to just go out and block some hotels. Because right now, I think two of the hotels are ready, their blocks are filled, and we're going to have to start going to other hotels. So I just want to give everybody a heads up with the number of registrations we have this early. People are blocking out extra hotel rooms because they're anticipating more people coming this year than last year. And last year we were at close to 7,000. We had almost 8,700 at family reunion this February. It looks like we could have somewhere in the neighborhood of 7,000 to 7,500 at MegaCamp. So be sure you get your rooms and your hotel rooms all set up in advance. If you could get that done quickly, that would be wonderful. Watch the airline tickets. That's another thing we're seeing. A lot of sales. Southwest is having sales where you can get the MegaCamp fairly inexpensively. So, we got great opportunities to get airline tickets for $79 and $99 and that type of thing. So have someone in your market centers watching the different airlines for their sales and using those as an opportunity to get more of your agents here and also to get more of your guests here inexpensively. And so that's number two. And number three, I just wanted to let everybody know MAPS is offering another opportunity for you to get registrations for free. And what we're doing is we call it a value pack where you get 11 registrations for the price of 10. So it would be basically 11 registrations for $1,990. We're doing something different this year than we've ever done before with the support of Mary Tennant, who's the president of the company, and Gary Keller, is the fact that in the past we've always needed names attached to those 11 before you could turn it in. Now all we're saying is you turn it in, reserve your spaces, and you can add the names later. So you don't have to attach a name to the 11 registrations you have. You can even add it all the way up until the time you arrive. You just don't want it to end in line, so if you can get those names in earlier, those pre-registrations will come to your hotels. If not, you may have to stand in line to get the people their name card. But we're giving you the opportunity to get an extra free registration for every 10 people you bring from your market center, agents and or guests. So you bring 40 people, you're going to get 4 free registrations for your guests. That's going to save you $800, and so that's a good start for getting a couple people to MegaCamp, paying for most of their expenses, and opportunity to recruit them as a capper into your organization or into your market center. So again, it's called the MegaCamp Market Center Value Package. You get 11 registrations for the price of 10. All you got to do is go to the MAPS website and click on MegaCamp and then click on the Market Center Value Pack. So those are the 3 things I definitely wanted to cover. And then about the program itself, Mega Agent Camp is going to be with Gary and his guests. And Gary, again, is going to kind of go along the line that we had last year, which is the best of the best. In fact, I just came up from a meeting with Mindy Hager, and we're looking at who we're going to have. And Gary's goal is to get different people that will be there. Again, mega agents, people that are doing, large volumes that we can learn from and incorporate it into our businesses. And it's a great opportunity then for us to bring our guests to see that this company is quite unique from every other company from the standpoint that we have a meeting with our agents, and the people sitting on our stage are from other companies. We know there's double value in that. One is their valuable information, and two, their impression of RE/MAX. I'm sorry, they come from RE/MAX, but RE/MAX agents and Caldwell Banker agents, they come to Keller Williams, see that we do have RE/MAX agents and Caldwell Banker agents and our own Keller Williams agents on stage. They look at us as a unique company and maybe somebody they want to be involved with. So it's a good recruiting tool for us, and it's a great opportunity for us to get exposure to what other people are doing and how they do their business. So that's some of the things I wanted to leave you with. And then, Gary, you want to introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and then since it's just going to be you and I today, we can kind of dig in. So introduce yourself, tell us how long you've been a team leader, that type of thing.
Okay, good. My name is Gary Revis. I'm currently the team leader for Keller Williams Hollywood Hills. I've been the team leader here for just under 3 years. I previously was the team leader and the originator or the person who started Keller Williams Studio City, and I was there for 5 years. So I've been a team leader now for a little over 8 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell Studio City, and you're in the West LA market, would you say, or?
Yeah, Studio City originally, which is in the Valley of Los Angeles, and I started that office with 4 people and built it to around 350 agents. And then the opportunity for me to move to the Hollywood Hills, which is where I was an agent personally originally and had relationships there, and also the opportunity of working in a higher-end price point was attractive to me. So I moved over to the Hollywood Hills office about 3 years ago. And we currently have 337 agents, and we are ranked as of this last month number 21 in the nation. We have been in the top 10 previously, and I have a promise to Mark Willis to be number 1 by the end of the year this year.
Well, good. So you got a good accountability partner there, Gary.
Yes.
Great. So, like I said, Gary is probably one of the most successful team leaders in using MegaCamp and Family Reunion to recruit people. So tell us a little bit how you start each year. I know some people, you start pretty early. We're past early. So how do you put together your list? How involved is your ALC? Why don't you just start from the beginning? What do you do?
Okay.
How do you put together your list and go from there?
Well, we always start with a game. So we created the game right after Family Reunion this year, and the name of the game this year is Double Your Income, Double Your Fun. That's the name of the game. And the intended outcome is that the people that attend the Mega Agent Camp have an unforgettable experience that has a dramatic impact in their abundance or their income. Mm-hmm. So that's the name of the game and the intended outcome. That was created with the Agent Leadership Council right when we got back from Family Reunion. So I made a request of the ALC to each have 2 people to come to Mega Agent Camp. The entire Agent Leadership Council is going to Mega Agent Camp, and their promise is that they will bring 2 people with them. So what I do, I'm sorry?
Wow, that's a great commitment on the part of the ALC.
Well, I coach everyone on the ALC, and it is part of their business plan that they grow their downline, and so they have a self-interest in attending MegaCamp for themselves and also for building their downline as well. So we've been doing this for a while. We actually create the touches and the invitation and the opening letter and all of the different things that they use in order to invite people to MegaCamp. Our goal this year is to have 40 attendees. Last year we had 54 attendees. So one of the different opportunities, right when we first started, we had a letter that we had that came from the Agent Leadership Council to the guests that they wanted to invite, and I just came from a meeting. I would have brought the letter with me, but it basically it just says that they wanted to invite them to this amazing event that happens in Austin, and that they would be going with them, and that a little about the event, and that it would make an amazing difference in their business. And also we do pay for them to go. Our office pays for their guests to go. So we pay for their airfare, we pay for their hotel, and we pay their registration as well. And so it's a free trip for their guests. And we do make certain that they pay for their own airline ticket, but we reimburse them, because in the past we've had people book airline tickets and then haven't been able to go. So we just don't want to be left with having a ticket that we can't use or that is in their name. So they have a free ticket, or they have a free pass to invite people to go to it. And then we've created touches that they have for their people. One of the things that has really been successful in having them have people commit and see the opportunity of it is when we have another event, when they bring people to the event, I'll have a drawing where we'll give away a trip to Mega Agent Camp to their guests. So it's a way to help them to get top agents to an event where they'll bring them as a guest to a party or to something that we're doing, and then we'll have a drawing, and then I will then have the top agents will be the winners.
Great, that's a wonderful idea. So you're getting them two ways. You're getting them to come to other training events, and they're an opportunity to win a trip to MegaCamp, which you're going to invite them anyway. It's just a different spin on it. Now they're the winner, and they get an opportunity to go to MegaCamp for free. Does that that comes from the OP and the ALC, from your operating principal and the ALC? How is that decision made, and why do they make that decision to pay for everything, Gary?
Well, we've been doing it for 8 years, so they know that we'll have it'll make a huge impact on our office. Half of the ALC was actually recruited through Mega Agent Camp, so they know that it's an event that works, and it's something I have really gotten behind. In that, when I first started as a team leader, I didn't really know what to do to recruit people, and I saw this as something that I thought would have people have an experience of our culture and how friendly and fun and wonderful that people were, and also that we're also a purposeful company that is really clear about tools, models, and systems that work that we can give to them. So I really used it as a tool to help me originally, and it's over the years has become a system and has expanded, and a lot of people have recreated it in our region.
Wow, that's wonderful. I like that idea a lot. What's your cap? Well, first of all, you'll have, how many guests there will you have this year? What's your goal for
40.
this year?
40.
And
right.
What conversion percentage do you normally have?
Well, it's varied from year to year, and we usually get around 90%. And last year wasn't as high, but we brought 54 people. And we're still in the conversation with people that we did bring last year, but it did make a huge difference in our company dollar each year. I mean, we've been trending up 20% each year ever since I got here, and that was not the case and isn't the case for the majority of offices in our area. So we're definitely have a reputation as being expanding and positive force in the market that's successful and growing. And I would say that Mega Agent Camp has really been the source of that. And there's something I really want to emphasize, Tony, is really as a team leader to have the ALC or your top agents making the invitations, and that you manage promises from people. Because really, you're going to need to throw a wide net to get people, because agents, it's difficult to commit time. They're busy, especially if they're top agents, and taking time out of their business, sometimes they will not or can't or whatever that's like. But if you have everyone, if you are managing 25 people and they're all promising you they're going to bring 2 people, then you then have a spreadsheet of all of the people that all the people are inviting. So I have a spreadsheet with a list of all of the people that everyone are inviting. So I know who they're playing for, and I manage promises of the people in my office to bring people. I don't generally follow up with them personally unless the agent requests that I do that. And part of the reason I do that is they are also responsible for making sure that they have an amazing time while they're there, and that they have a partner and a friend. And we all know the number one reason that people come to real estate offices is because they have a close friend there. So it's really for them to bond with them while they're there and continue to build the relationship that they already have, and that out of the relationship that they have, that they actually choose to join us when they get back.
So you've really thought this thing all the way through then, from the standpoint of what works and what doesn't work. Do you use mailed invitations? Is it a combination of mail, email, hand-carried invitations? What's the invitation process look like, the inviting process?
Well, originally there's a letter that goes out to them which just says a little bit about the event, that they're allowed to invite 2 people, that they would love for them to be one of the 2 people that goes with them. So it also creates urgency in that they're only allowed to bring 2. And I have them put in that original letter, or what's part of that letter is that they're sending out the invitation to 5 or 6 people, but they can only take 2, so that they see that if they don't confirm and respond, that they may not get to be part of the 2 that they get to bring. So we try to create a call to action in all of the communications that we have, and to create urgency so that people will commit. Because they also pay for their own flight, so we want them to do that, and we want to make sure that they get a good rate and that they've booked it in advance. So generally it'll always start out with an email. Then I will then generally say to them, okay, who are your 5 or 6 people that you're inviting, and then when are you going to speak to them, and that you make a request that they come. So I'll then speak to all of them and say who it is that you're speaking to. Then we have touches. We all stay at the Four Seasons. We've already booked, I think, 43 rooms at the Four Seasons. So we have pictures and photographs of the Four Seasons, so that's actually a touch that they have. They send them this flyer of the Four Seasons, and it has a little description on the bottom of, how luxurious and beautiful it is and how much fun it'll be to stay there, and that it's walking distance to the convention center and to the event. So it's luxury and knowledge and information that'll have an impact on their business. So it's always about luxuriously, exciting and fun, and an experience of a lifetime, and that it's going to have a huge effect on their production next year. So the second touch is usually the hotel, or actually, is the second touch, and it's already gone out. Then we have touches of the Bat Bridge. We have a touch of 6th Street. We have a touch of the carriage ride, the carriage thing, and then also inside of the touches, we also will, generally there's invitations to events, because we have 2 events pretty much every month. So we had several people that came. We just did a Hollywood Bowl event. It was a Grease sing-along at the Hollywood Bowl. We just had that 2 weeks ago. So we had guests there, and we had confirmations out of that event. We have the grand opening of our new offices in the Hills on Friday tomorrow, and we have about 60 confirmed guests from other companies for that, and there will be drawings there to confirm more guests for Mega Agent Camp also. We also have an event at the end of the month, which is a fundraiser for Joplin, and it's Drag Queen Bingo at a club here. And so that's it's a extremely popular and one that we're going to have lots of events at, and there'll be people that will win there that'll also be Mega Agents that'll be going to MegaCamp too.
Wow. You have a lot going that spins off of not only Mega Agent Camp, but and you're using a lot of this for other events to bring more people to the Market Center. So,
we always have 2 events every month, and we have a panel at every office meeting, and the panel generally will be either in-house and or a combination of other people from outside offices as well. So we have a constant flow of information. It's similar in that fun and experiential for the eyes, and information and things that will dramatically impact their business and more purposeful for the Ds.
Good. So let me ask you a question on those letters that go out. Is the Agent Leadership Council person on it as well as you as the team leader, or does it just come from you, or is it
No, it just comes from them. Just from them.
It just comes from them. You're not on it at all.
Yeah, I'm not on it at all. We don't push that it's a recruiting event, and we actually say that it's not necessarily. I mean, we want them to have an unforgettable experience, and we go to an amazing amount of effort to make sure that from the moment they get off the plane, it is an experience of their lifetime. And we're committed to that. So it's really for them to have such an amazing experience while they're there, and see what the people are like and the culture and environment of our company is, that has them just have it be something that's a no-brainer for them.
Right. And I think a really important aspect, and I've heard this on many, many calls, is you can't tell somebody about Keller Williams. They have to experience Keller Williams. And I think that's an opportunity for them to experience it by being there. I know you give a lot of thought to and plan some wonderful events. You mentioned the carriages. Tell us a little bit about, well, first of all, what do you do before you leave? Do you have anything like within the week before leaving for MegaCamp? And this year, MegaCamp starts on, MegaTech starts on Monday the 19th. MegaTech will be from 1:30 to 5:30, and then Mega Agent starts Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock and runs till 5 o'clock, and then half a day on Wednesday, and then the masterminds for the agents will also be Wednesday afternoon, the 21st. What do you do in that week before you leave on Monday the 19th to come to Austin, if anything?
Well, we have a mixer of the people that are going to attend. So we just have a mixer in a Chinese restaurant that we have done it for a couple of years now, and they give us a deal on the free appetizers. So we meet there. I always have a book that I give prior to going, and it's usually a short read. I think that last year it was How Full Is Your Bucket? So and really to create a theme in it. You know, the theme this year is Double Your Income, Double Your Fun. So right. The book this year will be about creating abundance consciousness, and so it's really going to be focused on abundance thinking and abundance and money and wealth building. That's really what we're going to be focused on this, and that will be the theme of the trip.
Good.
So, so we start with the party before we go, because we want everybody to know everyone, and we really want to create during the event that everyone gets really connected, and also that you know where everyone is at all times. You never have it so anyone in the group is being a lone ranger or doesn't feel like they're a part of. We want to make sure everyone knows that it's important to us that they have the experience of a lifetime and that they have that with us.
Good. I like that thought. Do you, as far as the getting together at the party, does anybody ever get concerned about being seen, or is that a pretty well gone by that point?
We've had that. Yeah, we've had that in the past. I mean, it's been a long time, though. I think that now, because so many people have gone in Los Angeles and also inside of the companies all around us, they know about the event, and some of them will even tell their manager. I know I had one of the top producers from Sotheby's last year, and she told her manager that she was going and that she was just going because she thought it might be fun and that she might get value from it. And I'm still in communication with her, and she hasn't joined her company. But and there has been people in the past who said, I don't want you to tell anyone. And if that's the case, I definitely will make sure that everyone in the group knows that it's their request.
Good. So then I know you, from the time they get on the airplane in L.A. and fly out, you have a lot planned. Tell me a little bit about how you plan it from the time you leave L.A. Until you time to get to Austin, and then what happens once you're in Austin. Because I don't think there's anybody that does it better than what you guys do. So this is what Gary has to say, because this is what makes what he just said a couple of minutes ago the most memorable experience of their life in the real estate industry. This is what creates all of that. So they get on their airplane in L.A. They're getting ready to land in Austin. What happens?
Well, remember, they've received a book prior to going, and that there's a request prior to going that they be ready to share at a panel when they return, if they're willing, what value or what insights that they've had out of attending the event. So I'll set it up before they go that they know they're going to be on a panel when they get back. So and also my request of them is that they listen and bring, or that they have something that they got out of attending that they're going to share with us. And I think it's really critical that you do that so that people create value for themselves. And also a lot of times people will be depersonalities, and if you have them on a panel, they'll compete to tell you about who got the most value. So it's really important that you let them know that it's going to be expected of them to share the value, and also that you recreate that conversation while you're at MegaCamp, saying, what have you gotten so far? What have you heard so far? What did you think about this? What did you think about that? And also if someone else says something, you share, this person just said that they saw this, so that you're always looking at what it is that they got out of being there and the value and insights that they got. So once they are on the plane, then also remember that they have a buddy. So there's every single person has someone who's responsible for being in communication with that person at all times, so that we always know where they're at. They're also on a group text list, so that we text them before we meet, everywhere we meet. So they get a text message whenever we're supposed to meet. Then there's always a text message right before the event, so that they know where to go, how to get there, and that it's happening, so they're reminded to show up. When they get off the plane, we have a limo service that takes them to the Four Seasons. We have vendors that pay for that, and it's a sewer line company. I think I've said that on a call before. We have a sewer line company that sponsors it, and we actually put a list of all the vendors in their rooms of all of the sponsors that have contributed monies towards all of the things that we do while we're there, because we have several companies that contribute, and we really do the best we can to get all of the things that happen while we're in Austin are paid for by other people. We don't generally spend any money once we're there on anything. It's all paid for. So we take the limo, we go to the Four Seasons. When they arrive at the Four Seasons, there'll be a note waiting for them when they first get there. So when they check in, there's a note that says, "Welcome to Austin. We're excited to have you be at MegaCamp and committed to you having the experience of a lifetime while you're here." Then when they get up to their room, there's a gift. So it's been different things for different years. Last year, I think it was it was like a candy jar with gummy bears in it and a bow, and so that was in the room, and it was just another little card that just said, this is the thing, and then there's an itinerary. So we have the itinerary in the room of all of the things that we're going to do while we're there as well, so that they can see what the plan is, so they can plan ahead with what it is they're going to do. And we actually will tell them before we go, so that they bring the right clothes and they know all the things they're going to do. So they kind of wrap their mind around all the stuff, because we don't stop. We generally try to keep it going the entire time we're there. So they get off the plane, they go to the limo, they go to Four Seasons, they get the note at the door, they get a little gift when they get into their room, and then we have a party that night. So it's been in different places. I usually will get a great big room, or I used to, but usually we have so many people. Last year we had it poolside at the Four Seasons. So we have a mixer the opening night that we're there, and just meet and greet, and everybody welcome to Austin and all of those things. Then depending upon our budget and whether or not people are going to participate or not, and it's usually not everybody, but about 25% or 30% of the people we take on to the piano bar on the carriage. So we'll take the carriage drive over to the piano bar, and they'll all hang out and like that, just to make sure that nobody drinks too much and that you don't push the fun as far as alcohol goes, because you really want them to get value and to be able to show up and not sleep through the MegaCamp, because that's happened to us before. So you just want to be aware of it and not push the booze too much, because the next day then they won't show up, and that's then the whole purpose for being there is not, it doesn't work. Then during MegaCamp, we always have lunch at Carmelo's, the Mexican restaurant that's across the street from the Hilton in Austin. They have a private dining room that we've already booked, and it seats 40 people. And it's great, because MegaCamp's usually so busy, and if you go over to Carmelo's, you'll see that it's packed. But we have a private dining area that they set up for us, so we generally will always meet there. Oh, and I forgot, the night before, after the mixer, we have dinner. We have dinner the night we get there as well. So I'm sorry, we go from the party to dinner, then to the carriage drive to the piano bar. So this has been a combination of different things we've done in the past, and we really make sure that whatever it is that we create, it's paid for. And to what degree we can do things is how much money we get, because we don't spend money once we get there.
Good. I like that thought. You do a party the second night there?
No, well, there's dinner. So when we get there, then the next day the dinner is after MegaCamp the next day. Okay, that's
good.
I was getting confused.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then tell them about the picture idea, because I think I like. Do you still do that picture idea?
We did it. We did it last year as well. So the agent services person brings a printer, and he takes pictures of everybody during the MegaCamp, and then we use the pictures as place settings at the dinner that we have. So. And in the past we've gotten these really inexpensive heart-shaped frames, and so we put them in these heart-shaped frames and we set them out. So that's their dinner place. So they know where to sit during dinner.
Good. Okay. So do you do any recruiting while you're there, or do you wait till you get back? Because I've had that question a lot.
Yeah, over the years, it's people have joined us while they were there and or committed to joining us, and I've set an appointment with them while we're there. They've said, "I want to meet with you next week." I mean, that happens a lot. I think that it's also that they know they're going to be on the panel afterwards and we're going to be in communication. I don't necessarily drive people or try to come in and close them during the event or make any conversation that's going to have them think that I'm trying to recruit them while they're there. I don't do that at all. It's really about the agents that brought them there and their friends bonding and building a relationship, and what organically happens out of that is generally they will have conversations with them about it. And they'll ask them questions. They'll ask them questions about the company.
Good. And then you said when you get back you have a panel. How do you structure that panel when you get back?
Well, we will let them know that when the office meeting is, and they just make an agreement to come to the office meeting and the panels at the office meeting. We've had so many attendees. Sometimes we'll split it up, so we'll have 2 office meetings and we'll have 2 separate panels, and generally it'll be people that were guests only, just because we have so many guests.
Right. Good. Okay, and then it turns into a regular follow-up for the recruiting process.
Yeah. Then after that, it's just to continue to build the relationship. Also, I'll generally ask them questions about what they got out of the book, whatever the book was. And I also that they're ready to share whatever they got from it. But I like to create a context out of the book that we have. Really, with Fill Your Bucket was really a good one if you want to use that. How full is your bucket? Because that one's about acknowledgement and appreciation. So it's really perfect one, because I requested before we all went last time that everyone in the group take on acknowledging and appreciating their guests and what it is that they think is great about them as a business person and great about them as a person, and that at one point during the trip that they acknowledge them. And they all promised to do that. So I loved that was the theme for everyone, because it really brought that, and everybody was just acknowledging everyone. And also at the dinner that we had, me acknowledging the OP, everyone there acknowledging each other. When you start to acknowledge people, it just expands and expands, and people really take it on. So it's great.
I love that idea. Tell us a little bit about how you get your Keller Williams agents to come, because here's Gary's biggest concern. Our goal is to have 2,000 guests come to MegaCamp. We believe that out of the 7,000 people, 2,000 should be guests. So it'll be somewhere between 6,500 and 7,000. Gary's biggest concern is that we spend so much time getting guests there that we could have the guests outnumber the agents, which he said would be devastating for all those people that brought guests. So his goal would be to see 2,000 guests and 4,000 Keller Williams agents, so that we hold that ratio of 2 to 1, and so that the guests don't come and say, wow, we're here, where are your agents? Maybe this isn't the company we thought it was. So getting as many of our agents there also helps in the recruiting process. What are some of the things you do, Gary, to get your current agents to MegaCamp?
Well, they all know about it because of the game. And even though I focus on having the ALC play the game, they're all invited to play the game. So they can bring people with them to the different events that we have, and lots of them do, and they are. And several agents from the office are bringing people to our grand opening on Friday, because they know that we're going to do that. So they get caught up in the momentum and in the excitement of the experience that they know everyone's going to have when they're at MegaCamp, and they really want to be a part of it. And every year we've had at least as many or more of our own agents go, as well as the guests. Last year we filled up an entire restaurant. The OP walked in and was just blown away when he looked around, because he said, every single table in this restaurant is us.
Nice place to be, though, because you now have control of that environment, which is important in the process that you're going through. Again, to make it a memorable experience, you control the environment.
Right, and then also you want to keep creating with the agents what value that they're getting from it, because it's a conversation that when they have that with you and you keep checking in on what their insights were, what it is that they saw, they're continually creating value for themselves. Because you want to create a conversation when they get back from MegaCamp where they talk about all the value that they got in their business and also what an amazing experience they had because of all of the things that we set up for them.
Great. Well, I just want to take 1 second, too, before we continue with Gary. I just want to give you kind of a feel for what Mega Agent Camp agenda is going to be like this year. Gary's going to have a panel on internet lead generation, internet lead conversion and follow-up systems, Craigslist best practices, social media and blogging, farming, open houses, expireds for sale by owners, people that work off the referrals, in other words, that really work their database and get hundreds and hundreds of closings off of their database. People that use seminars like MREI, investor seminars, since probably right now 28 to 30% of the business in the country is being done by investors. How to build a big team and build a seventh level business, basically. Luxury panel, buyers panels, developing a powerful pricing and listing presentation, short sales, a little bit on short sales, a little bit on REOs, and then some mega agent interviews. And I know one of the people that's on the list probably does well over $100 million, $140, $150 million a year. Their goal this year is to do $200 million as a team. He's also going to possibly look into financial wealth building. And that's, once you build a seventh level business, what other businesses can you be building that would add residual income? And then working with builders and developers and how to use e-edge successfully. So as you can see, in a day and a half, that's going to be action-packed, a lot of valuable information. I think getting into that Craigslist stuff and all of that last year opened up so many realtors' eyes about what's possible and what kind of cash flow you can create using Craigslist. Like the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Bob, I can't remember his last name. I mean, he did $1 million pretty much off of Craigslist. So those are the kind of people Gary is having again this year. And so that's kind of the panel that Gary is going to be doing. So he also has some surprise guests that he's working on. So it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for them to experience something they've never experienced, most likely haven't experienced at their own companies. And then for our agents, it's a great opportunity just to get in front of Gary and getting the excitement of being there. So this is Gary Keller. I got two Garys on the phone right now. So Gary, any thoughts that you would leave with people right now before we hang up on the call? What would be like your parting thought you'd like to leave with everybody?
Well, requests and promises forward action. And unless you know how it's going to go, no one else will either. So you need to know exactly how many and by when and have it in existence in your calendar so that people know exactly how many you are going to have confirmed and by when that you're going to have them. Also that you make the request of your agents to go. A lot of times people will be flattered that you want them to go. And if you go to them and say, if you come to MegaCamp, people will see, because you're a top producer, that it's something that's important, and more of them will go, and also the guests that we have will see that our top producers are learning-based. So it would really make a difference for us if you attended MegaCamp this year. And I promise you, if you make that request to the top people in your office, all of them, you'll get a good percentage that will go. So make the requests, make promises, have them in your calendar with a specific by when, and all of the feasible opportunities that are going to have you have that goal attained. Great.
Well, thank you. That's such a wonderful parting thought. Just to remind everybody, if you haven't got hotel rooms, plan ahead. I know Gary plans ahead, so I think by the time they leave this year they'll have the Four Seasons booked for next year or as soon as they can, so that he doesn't get short of the rooms. He definitely, I mean, after you started being on these calls, Gary, the Four Seasons became a very popular hotel, and he almost got booked out one time.
Yeah, we had
himself.
to book too. We had to move half our people to the Hyatt because we didn't book in time last year.
So plan that. Don't forget our Market Center value package where you can get 11 registrations for the price of 10. And then also you're going to be getting to support you as we get down. We're about 65 days away from Mega Agent Camp. We're going to be supporting you with a MAPS Mega Agent or Mega Camp box that we can have with some added invitations and some other ideas you can be using to get more and more people there. Like I said, we're over 3,000 people registered. Last year we had 6,000, so we're basically halfway there. And, you know, we know people are going to start registering faster and faster as we get closer and closer. So get it done early because we like family reunion, we will probably sell out because we're limited by fire marshals how many people we can put in these rooms. And in Austin, they're very particular about the fire marshals limiting the size of the rooms. So get registered early and get your rooms covered up. So I want to thank Gary. Gary always provides us with some tremendous insight, and as you can tell, that's why he's successful in using it. It's well planned, it's structured. He runs models and systems just like we teach in Keller Williams. So Gary, I can't thank you enough for being on this call today and sharing your wonderful wisdom about using MegaCamp. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tony, for the honor of being your partner in causing MegaCamp to be the biggest that it's ever been. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate that. So our next call then will be on the 28th of this month. Our guests on that call will be Brian Fair, Colette Ching, and so Brian is a regional director and owns several market centers in the Atlanta area, and Colette is in Santa Monica, California. So you're going to get, again, some great wisdom. Everybody approaches this a little bit differently. The most important thing is do something about it and get those people and your guests to MegaCamp. Thank you very much for being on the call. Gary, a wonderful wisdom. Again, thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.